Kenyan coffee beans are widely acclaimed for their extraordinary flavor profile and mouth-watering fragrance. With all the promotions encompassing Kenyan coffee, however, you may not have a clue about the hard realities of how Kenyan coffee occurs. Kenyan coffee beans are deeply adored and appreciated by coffee consumers all over the world. Around 43% of individuals say they like drinking coffee since it tastes great. However, with such countless sweet lattes out there, it appears to be certain individuals aren't alluding to the flavor of the coffee itself. Perhaps it's time they tried some Kenyan coffee. From bean to cup, we are going to let you know 7 things you have close to zero familiarity with Kenya's top commodity. 1. Kenyan coffee is one of the world's 5 best coffees. Many individuals list Kenyan coffee among the 5 best on the planet. With its rich body, high acidity, extraordinary flavor, and great aroma, it ought to be no big surprise. One of those berry notes is dark currant. Dark currant is a flavor that is particular to Kenyan beans, and one reason some coffee from Kenya tastes so extraordinary. Contingent upon the grade of coffee beans you get, Kenyan coffee can have a seductively sweet characteristic. We suggest continuously going for Kenya A coffee. 2. Kenyan coffee beans have SHG and SHB status. Coffee beans from Kenya grow at elevations somewhere in the range of 1,400 to 2,000 meters high. This height implies Kenyan coffee beans meet all requirements for strictly high-grown SHG than strictly hard bean SHB status. It implies that coffee beans are grown at high elevations, which permits beans to grow slowly and with additional nutrients than lower-grown beans. 3. There are 5 unmistakable Kenyan coffee's varietals. Varietal is a term acquired from the wine world. As far as coffee, it implies every one of the various kinds of coffee that can be produced using a solitary sort of coffee bean. Contingent upon the varietal, the coffee bean quality will vary. Kenyan coffee beans are Arabica beans that come in 5 unique varietals: SL28, SL34, K7, Ruiru 11, Batian. What's the distinction? SL28 is a medium to high elevation coffee bean that requires significantly less rain than its close to the cousin, SL34. K7 is a more current varietal that doesn't deliver as great of coffee as the SL28 and SL34 yet enjoys the benefit of infection invulnerability. Researchers made new varietals to answer the issue K7 presented. Might a bean at any point be safe from infections while likewise delivering a magnificent mug of coffee? Attempt a cup of Ruiru 11 or Batian Kenyan beans and taste the proof for yourself. 4. Kenyan green coffee beans go through wet processing. Wet processing is a strategy by which the green, unroasted coffee bean is taken out from its external shell, called parchment. This kind of processing typically happens when the coffee fruit is yet moist or just after harvest. For what reason does wet processing matter? A wet processed coffee will in general taste cleaner and feel thinner in the mouth. A few roasters likewise say that wet processing keeps up with the high acid content Kenyan coffees are known for. 5. Kenyan and Ethiopian coffee beans are comparative. All things considered, the first Kenyan varietal, SL28, came from Ethiopia in any case. Many individuals think about the dry, acidic delayed flavor impression of Kenyan coffee as that of Ethiopian Hara roasts. Today, most Kenyan varietals are offshoots of hybrids created in the 1950s. Scott Labs acquainted new Kenyan coffee beans with the market, which has overwhelmed the Ethiopian imports of many years sooner. Six, Kenyan coffee comes in grades. Grades are given to coffee beans before roasting to decide their size. Bean size is significant since beans of a similar size roast at similar rates. For instance, Grade E or elephant grade coffee beans are the biggest grades of Kenyan beans. This class incorporates Kenya PB or Kenya Peaberry beans and Kenya AA beans. Kenya AA beans are the biggest Kenyan coffee beans cash can purchase. Why is grade significant? The grade decides the flavor profile of one cup of Kenyan coffee versus another. Kenya AA beans, for example, are regularly sweeter than, say, Kenya MHML beans, which are low quality and will quite often taste acrid. 7. Kenya doesn't drink the coffee it produces. One more explanation Kenyan coffee is so pursued is that the nation doesn't produce a lot of it. Kenya contains somewhere around 150,000 hectares of plantable land. Coffee beans are ordinarily grown in the following regions: Ruiru, Thika, Kirinyaga, Mount Kenya West, Central Kenya, Kiambu, Murang'a. Did you have some idea that individuals living in these regions just beverage a small part of the coffee they produce? Kenya is predominantly a tea-drinking country, in contrast to adjoining Ethiopia. This reality means that there's more Kenyan coffee for the rest of us. Thanks for watching. Benjinet Productions, we've got you covered.